Time for another episode of Local Roots. Hi, I'm Todd Studer. Well, we've made it to Thursday, and it's been a wonderful week so far. I had a great time at the Iowa State Fair yesterday. I'm still kind of feeling all the food that I ate. I may not eat for another couple of days yet. Today, we are returning to our high school fall sports previews, and we're going to visit today with Tyler Hamilton. He's the activities director in Underwood, also the principal at the middle school. And a great conversation with Tyler, and we're going to be bringing that to you on today's Local Roots. So stick around for that. Castle and Associates of American Family Insurance, your local insurance provider for all of your home, auto, life, business, and farm insurance needs. They're in Trainer, they're in Council Bluffs, also in Elkhorn and in Bellevue. They are local and in your neighborhood, ready to help you navigate the complexities of insurance today. Travis and his team educate, advise, and simplify insurance, all to protect those things you cherish most. Give them a call for your free quote. And do you or does someone you love need in-home care? Home Care Advocacy Network helps you maintain your own privacy in your own space while still receiving care and support with a personalized touch. Aging in place is critical for many people, and Home Care Advocacy Network meets those needs with an understanding that assisted living is best at home. Their website, hcan.com/Southwest Iowa. Joining us this morning, the activities director at Underwood, it is Tyler Hamilton. Thank you so much for joining us this morning, Tyler, and also congratulations on all the success we've been seeing at Underwood. I know that there's an excitement in the community.
Yeah, no, I appreciate you having me on. We're very lucky. We have a great group of kids, both on the boys and girls side, but then obviously just a really good group of coaches. And our community really has kind of rallied around our groups. And we've been very fortunate as of late to have a lot of success across the board. So
over the years, anytime that I've been covering Underwood, whether it was in radio or what have you, always a lot of fan support, community support, parent support. You never have to wonder whether that's going to be there because it always is.
Yeah, no, I think it's one of those things, and people always, they ask you the question, what do you like about Underwood so much? One of the things that comes to mind is there's always that thirst to be the best. It's like, why we don't need to settle. There's an old quote that one of my coaches, Mr. Spiegel, why settle for second when first is available? And I think that's just kind of the mindset that we kind of go about. And I mean, does it add pressure to some of the things that we do? Yes. But in a good way. I think it's a healthy kind of pressure / expectation that we're willing to do kind of whatever it takes to try to get to that next level. I mean, if we have a program that's maybe struggling a little bit, it's not just an overall sense of frustration. It's what can we do to help, I guess, to kind of move that. And that's the nice part that I really enjoyed. And then obviously when you get to make the state tournament runs and bring home the trophies from time to time, it obviously helps kind of push that along a little bit. And we've been fortunate in recent years to get to do that in a number of our sports.
Yeah, when you have that kind of success, it's not just at the high school, it's the younger kids that are coming up and they start to imagine themselves being in that same position.
Yeah. No, I think that's a big piece that we try to hammer home to our older kids right now. Is I think we all can reflect back. And I mean, I'm from Underwood, graduated from Underwood. So I remember growing up watching our girls win 2 state championships in basketball, but then watching the football team go to the Dome way back when and looking at those guys like they were like Greek gods, so to speak. So getting our kids to kind of put themselves back in those shoes when they were that young and really kind of lean into those younger kids. And I know when we did our state baseball, we did a send-off this year in the evening. Traditionally, we just do one in the afternoon, like before they were to take off. And it's not super well attended just because of the time of day. But we did one in the evening this year, and it was nice because you could see there was an extra kind of younger kids with their baseballs there to get them autographed and stuff like that. So I think our kids, they see it more, they feel it. It's just cool after the game to see kids run up to Garrett, whether it be our other kids with a ball or a bat, asking them to sign it. And it kind of helps put that in perspective for our kids, like just really understanding their impact and how it goes deeper in our community.
So you're headed now into the fall sports season. Yep. And what you talked about expectations, obviously the goal is always to win that last game of the year and come home with a trophy. However, what's the buzz? What are you hearing right now around Underwood as far as fall sports goes?
Yeah, I think fall sports, I'll just start off with cross country. We don't have a ton of recent history of success in cross country. So like our focus there has just been numbers and trying to get kids out. And I think this year, Right now, we're sitting kind of right about 12 in the high school side, which is a lot for us. We kind of joked in previous years, our goal was we wanted to make sure we could field enough to have a team to score and things like that. And now we're kind of do that and trying to just really be competitive in the WIC, kind of so it stands with that. So it's been exciting to watch Coach Irwin, our superintendent. Actually, he's our head cross country coach. So it's been kind of fun to watch him these last couple of years, just kind of do things, I guess, a little bit differently in terms of just really trying to recruit and grow that. So it's cool to kind of start to see the numbers start to build there. And then hopefully the success will follow.
Yeah. When you're, and especially in cross country, it doesn't get the spotlight. I mean, let's be honest, it doesn't get the spotlight, right. But those young people that are out there competing, it means just as much to them as somebody running out onto the football field at 7:00 on a Friday night. I mean, they are passionate about that sport.
Yeah, no, and you're 100% right. And I think that's been the kind of the big piece. And I think it says something when your superintendent takes on extra duties, especially coaching. When just the amount of time that he puts into that, it's just been cool to see the kids respond, but then also just to see, I guess, like I said, the numbers that continue to grow, over there. And it's fun because now you're starting to see it in the junior high, which is how it should happen. And then over time, those numbers, you keep them out, you retain them. And then hopefully you're having kind of higher programs in the high school. So
I can remember back when I used to compete track and in cross country. Mentally, it's a completely different thing. Even though I'm, was competing in, middle distance, it's when you're running on a golf course or wherever it might be versus, run straight, turn left kind of thing. It's a different kind of feel and a completely different sport.
Yeah. Well, what's funny is I think so many kids think, oh, cross country, I'm running a half marathon. And that right there just totally deters them without really even knowing that it's really not, it's a lot of running. Like, I'm not going to lie to you, but it's not as much as you think it is. But when kind of getting back to that youth piece, one of the things that we've done is we do a cross country run. We do track and field day in the spring, but we also have added a cross country run. And getting the elementary kids kind of running that cross country, kind of thinking about that distance running piece. And I think honestly, that's a big piece because now those kids are more likely to give cross country a try in junior high. And then we have a better chance of kind of getting them to high school. So.
All right. So that's what's happening with cross country. And also with girls tennis moving to the fall, what has that affected at Underwood? What kind of different mentality and approach have you had to take?
Yeah, so we actually don't have tennis.
Well, see, there you go. So that just solves that problem, right?
Yeah, but I'm thankful for that because one thing that we've been struggling with, like most schools, is just participation on the girls' side. I mean, that's something that we haven't felt that in volleyball since I've been in Underwood. And this is my 5th year, but we have felt it. I mean, last year in soccer, we kind of scratched and clawed to have a team. We were lucky enough with our mighty group of 14 girls to make it to the state tournament. Like, so and then in basketball as well, we kind of struggled to have to play JV last year a little bit. So it's kind of we've been there. We just have a few classes with kind of the lower participation. It's been that way in in middle school as well. But this is the first year where we're right in like the low to mid 20s for volleyball this year. Young team. We have a really good freshman class, good sophomore class, and then some good leaders in the juniors and seniors, just a little thin numbers wise up there. So I think kind of this year, the expectations are all over the place with them. I think there's going to be some games where we're going to be young and we're going to be inexperienced, and you're going to see that. But there's also going to be games where you're going to see some of the younger talent and kind of stuff shine through. It's just a matter of, I talk a lot with our coaches about trying to break down doors, so to speak, not physically, obviously, but trying to get through like, okay, we got to get those few conference wins, and then we can start to look at the postseason, and then it's maybe winning a few games in the postseason. Like, this stuff doesn't happen overnight. And I think it's hard for some of our programs because they see the success of other programs and they why not us type of thing, and just really getting coaches to understand like there's a building and a process to this. And I'm really excited about our volleyball program. I think it's just going to be something we're really going to see a couple of years from now. Really the benefits of what's going on currently.
And the very first time that I went during my KMA days and went to the state volleyball tournament, Underwood was playing. Yeah. They had made it. This would have been 97, I think, is when that was. Yeah. And I can still remember the match. I still remember everything about it. So, and that kind of thing can still carry over. I mean, they just have to remember that, look, this school has a history of, in the volleyball world of being there.
Yeah.
Very, very competitive. And yeah, you're right. You can get right back there again.
Yeah, well, I think it's hard. Our kids nowadays are pulled so many different ways. I mean, it's just a constant battle for their time and competing with it. And as a result, you're seeing kids that, I mean, you can do any sport you want nowadays. You can do club year round if you really want to. And it's just kind of trying to. And I don't think we're feeling that so much in volleyball right now, but you can definitely see it in other sports. But I think that's just one thing that, and I'm kind of going off on a little bit of a side note here, but that's just one thing that we constantly are talking about as coaches is like what we do in terms of scheduling and what we do in terms of kind of working around our kids and helping our other programs. Everybody benefits. Like if we plan and communicate as coaches, then our kids don't have to choose, and our kids can do multiple things within that. And I think that's a big piece, but especially on the girls' side, like we should have to be very kind of careful and diligent with how we're doing things, just to make sure that we're kind of getting those girls out, keeping them, but also not burning them out. I mean, that's the other thing too, is you always worry about that.
And let's talk football now. And what are we going to see at Underwood this year?
Well, we're kind of starting off a little fast with Harlan out of the gate, so I think we're going to find out right away. Anytime you play those guys, we're going to find out right away kind of what our boys are made of. But I think talked with our coaches the other day, Coach McKelson, and he's excited. I mean, obviously we return all of our offensive linemen back from last year. We get David Foote back, who was an all-district player as a sophomore, but then tore his ACL last year. So anytime you get a kid like that back after a year, I think you're feeling pretty good. Garrett will be back under center again. He's got a lot of experience, that does a phenomenal job. And it's just kind of breaking in some new young guys at receiver on offense, and then seeing kind of what we have in the backfield. But no, I think I'd be lying if I didn't say we'd be disappointed if we can't find a way to win a few games in the postseason and hopefully get back to Cedar Falls. I think that's where we're at. And if you asked our kids, I think they'd echo that.
Yeah, it's but still, there's a lot of other schools that have that same mentality in there, and it's there's going to be ups and downs. There are bumps along the way, and even if the W's keep coming, there's still the ups and downs that happen. And as you said, I'm excited when you say, okay, we're going to start off with Harlan and see where we're at. Underwood's good. I mean, you get a good football team. So I would assume then that they're not going to be going into that game with stars in their eyes and seeing that, it's the Harlan Cyclones and however we're going to stay on the same field. No, you guys belong there. You're there competing.
Yeah, no, I think for sure. I think that's just a big piece of why we want to schedule Harlan. Like our thought is if we can go toe to toe with, a 3A school with that history and that level of success, then who we're going to run up against in 1A, we can feel pretty good about within that. Now, kind of with that being said, we start off with Harlan, and then we get the Class A state champs Tri-Center now in our district coming down to Underwood as our first district game. So, our district is really tough this year. Trainers should be really good. They got us last year, won our district. Within that, and you obviously got Tri-Center. Shenandoah's got a young nucleus that should be really solid, and then just some unknown young teams in Missouri Valley and Red Oak. So it's one of those things where we start off with Harlan, and then I think we go to I-35 Truro, and then Clarinda. So our non-conference, we'll find out kind of what we're about definitely in that before we kind of really hit the ground running with district play, and a really tough district.
But with the level of experience that's coming back, and you talked about everybody coming back on the line, and players that have been there before, that it's that hurdle is overcome. You don't have to worry about confidence. It's just now it's execution, and now it is a team looking a little bit different from year to year, even with everybody coming back. I remember years ago interviewing a coach that had won the state title the year before. And I made the mistake of calling him defending state champs. He said, we're not defending anything. This is another team. This is a completely different team. And that's the way it is in high school. From one year to the next, it can be a big, big difference.
Yeah. Well, I think for sure, our kids last year, so that we had gone to the Dome back-to-back seasons. And then last year, obviously the expectation was, we think we're going to be able to get back to there. Well, right out of the gate, we really struggled. We got beat by obviously a very good Van Meter team, Kemper, and then we started off district play with losses to HSTW and Trainer. So it was things that we hadn't felt in a while. It was humbling, but I think it was good for our kids, good for our staff. It really kind of caused that group to reflect and really dig in. We were able to get back to the quarterfinals last year. I mean, which was, I think if you would have told us where we were sitting early in September after kind of our slow start, if you would have said we'd finish our season in the quarterfinals, we all would have said, perfect, we'll take it. Like that's where we feel we should be, so to speak. So yeah, I think you're 100% right. This group of seniors, they would have played in the dome as sophomores. I think they're a really motivated group. Our weight room numbers this summer on the boys' side were incredible. Just in seeing averaging 40 to 50 kids a day in there, really getting after it. So I think they're excited to put the pads on and get things going.
Well, I'm excited to see everything that's going to be happening at Underwood. Tyler Hamilton, activities director at Underwood. Thank you much for your time. And also, don't be a stranger. We want to have you back and talk about the seasons that are coming up. And anytime that we can help get information out there, we want to be able to do that. So just keep us in mind. And again, thank you very much for your time today.
Yeah, for sure, Todd. I appreciate you having me on. And like always open to talk about our kids and our coaches. So thank you.
Looking for a different way to do some marketing? Foxco Fabrication in Council Bluffs does a lot of laser etching. They do plasma cutting for signs. They can make big signs, too, out of metal. So go to foxcofab.com. Take a look at some of the projects that Rick and his team have already done. And then it might give you an idea of something that you would like to do. Rick really likes the one-offs, the individual, unique ideas. He loves working on those projects. So get a hold of him, foxcofab.com, get your order in, and maybe just looking for some cups or mugs or some metal business cards, or could be etching on coasters, a lot of different things that they can offer you there. So foxcofabrication.com. And stylish, locally curated fashion that's close to home is right in Neola. The Unique Boutique Iowa is located at 101 4th Street in Neola. It's your destination for trendy clothing, accessories, and distinctive gifts. Owned and styled by Jamie Bush, Unique Boutique Iowa brings a homegrown passion for quality and community to every piece. Now, they're open in the store on the weekends, 10 to 2 on Saturday, 11 to 3 on Sunday. However, if you would like to shop online, you can do that anytime you want. Go to shopubiowa.com. The Unique Boutique Iowa, distinctive styles, heartfelt service, right in Neola. Back into the swing of things after a day at the Iowa State Fair, and I'm looking forward to having a very busy day today and tomorrow before we head into the weekend. And that's going to wrap things up for today. Thank you so much for all of the support and encouraging words that I continue to receive with this show and across the board with Les Hills Media. It's very encouraging. My name's Todd Studer. We'll see you back here tomorrow morning.